Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Many of you know that we do special programs here on Quistor Voices every once in a while, and today's special program is going to highlight Quistor Voices itself, where it's been, and how it's gotten to where it is today. 17 years ago, QV aired its very first episode, and Miss Joyce Helmick was actually in charge of the program.
Back in the 70s, Mr. Wendell Davis and Mr. Ken Reed began what we call OBTV, which was the channel station here or over at the middle school campus. The feature of the station was Quistor football, the fifth quarter show, and several community events like, of course, the Christmas parade, which has been a tradition here in OB for years. I came to OB in the late 80s, and when I came, then there were several changes going on in the school system, and so there was a culmination of work with several people together. One of the things was that we did not have televisions in all the classrooms like we do today. So in the late 80s, when Channel 1 came in and brought in the Channel 1 TVs, made it possible for us to have some kind of communication in every classroom. So that was a big issue. Mr. Davis saw the real potential of a news program to all the students. Thus began what we today call Quistor Voices. When I really became involved, I was teaching the gifted program. I had fewer students than most teachers, plus my location was ideal because my classroom was in that center room in the auditorium over there in on the middle school campus now. And the QV room was at the back side of that where the filming room for the auditorium is. So it was just a perfect combination, and that's how I became involved in the whole situation. The room was dark and small, so different from what you guys have today. The first Quistor Voices announcement was really exciting. We came in, we had a student who volunteered to do the announcements, and we learned many things about this. We were live. I mean, really live.
Good morning, Quistors. Welcome to the 1990-91 school year. I'm Mrs. Helmick, creative writing teacher. Channel 1 News is a daily news program by Willow Communications. The national news program will be broadcast daily at 11 o'clock to all classrooms at OBHS. Several students will be re-emphasizing the program during the day. Each day after the national news, we will have high school news and announcements. Today, Angela Clinton, Jr. at OBHS is with us to make several announcements.
Hi, and welcome to Quistor Voices.
We had a big change, too, when Dr. Garrett came. Mr. Davis left, went to the county office, procured us a little more good equipment, and then Dr. Garrett came as principal and changed the face of QV, in that Dr. Garrett saw that there was a potential for Quistor Voices to be a good PR for the school. So then we had students go into the community. We taped the chamber meetings sometimes. We interviewed chamber members. We interviewed Rotary members. We went to businesses. We found students who are at work at different businesses, interviewed them with their jobs. We had visitors on campus. One time the governor came out to Whispering Woods. We sent a group of students out there, interviewed the governor. We even did live elections on TV. Of course, the face of Quistor Voices and OBTV changed a great deal when we moved to this new building. The first obvious change was that we went from a really tiny, cramped room with not much to work with to this new room over here that you guys have now, where you have plenty of room for some sets and beautiful lighting, etc. So we started making some changes then. I became part of Quistor Voices when they said, Ms. Helmick, you will do Quistor Voices as part of your gifted program. And I enjoyed it. I loved it. I found that there was a creative spark in me that I was able to share with the students, and then to work with some of these students is just unbelievable, some of the things they could do. We changed the program so that it could be part of the library program. And we had a couple of people to try to work with, and of course the best things that's happened to Quistor Voices lately is that Mr. Mark Lewis has come in and become an integral part of it and has improved the program so much. I'm really proud of what started way back then and where it has come today.
I was actually hired to work at Olive Branch High School in another capacity. Mr. Owen noticed on my resume that I had a background in video production, and within about 6 months pulled me into the Quistor Voices program. The very first thing I did when I got to the program was to clean out the room and all of the clutter and build 6 brand new sets. We then changed the format of the show from 2 people sitting at the table to different people standing up at the individual sets. I very quickly took the program into the digital age. For years we had used VCRs to edit, and we brought in a computer and hard drives. We load everything onto the hard drives, cut it up, slice up the video, and then we would build storyboards, and that allowed us to lay over insert shots and to do all sorts of different effects and graphics that you see on QV today.
A school is made up of a lot of units, and every unit in a school must provide some sort of service for the students to be able to find something out about themselves. QV is just another program that gives students a chance to find something that they really, really like to do. We have had students to leave here. For example, Tish Clark has gone on to be a news anchor here in Memphis. We had a student who left here, went to work for the news channels in Memphis named Drew Smith. Recently made a film, has won an award for that film. We have had many students leave here and go to college, major in communications, because they found their niche in that room.
I hope you enjoyed watching the history of the Quistor Voices program. Tomorrow, we're actually going to take this year's staff over to the old studio and film a QV episode in the original QV studio. So make sure you tune in tomorrow and check that out. Until then, stay tuned for your lunch menus and have a great day.